Hello, beloved hearts. Thank you for joining. This video is the second part of the Embodied InScension journey. And last time I spoke about awareness. And today I would like to speak about compassion, true compassion. That is a very essential part of this journey. From the I am that becomes aware of itself, of the pure consciousness that the human self begins to slowly come into contact with. And from that lens of awareness in my video that I spoke about, then next is really compassion, the compassion for all the changes, the compassion for all the dynamics that shift within the limited self that knew itself. And now is this higher self that is revealing itself through that awareness. This compassion is not a human compassion, it is a divine compassion because it is the grace that touches it. And from that gracious essence, the compassion flows in. And it's just such a beautiful container for the journey that the human has partaken, not just this incarnation, but many incarnations. It is so incredible the level of compassion that takes place within the embodied InScension journey that my human self is experiencing while my I am is also experiencing. So I want to just share a little bit about this because today when I was walking on the beach, there were some tears coming through my human vessel in its recognition that the human self does not know the I am. And the I am does not really know the human self. It knows of its existence, but it does not know its walk. So as I'm experiencing my I am, there's this freedom and flow and the awareness and the excitement and the joy and the grace. And with it has the compassion. And it's very excited to embrace the human self, yet it doesn't have sort of like, it doesn't know the walk that the human self has taken. And the human self does not have the awareness of its I am. So it's been these two separate experiences that have now come to this place of awareness. And this awareness now wants to experience viscerally the embodiment. It's a beautiful dance of friction of, like, again, the old world that I talked about in my last video that I invite you to watch, and this new world, and the two worlds coming together. And there's so much compassion in this place. As I'm experiencing this integration, there's a compassion for how this will not be done automatically, because it cannot operate that way. There's a space in which it is allowing for it to naturally and organically take part. So, unlike all these other ways before that would want to be rushed and quickly put into action, it doesn't operate that way. It has a complete different operating system. And especially going back when this cap of the old Atlantean matrix has been removed, because that was tied into the suffering, the programming, the conditioning, the that true hurt and pain manipulations, dogma, social engineering, all of that, and victim, huge part, and lack of abundant living. All of that was tied to this Atlantean matrix of 12,500 years that gave the opportunity post this spring equinox, not because of any of this astrological things. It's so by far grander than that. And that's one of the things when I speak about the changes. One of them is this. Now, although many of you know I've been going through this for a while, I've divorced everything to do with astrology, all of it's just out the door because it's such distraction. It's so limited. And through the Atlantean matrix template, through the cap, I got to really see how it was tied into this limitation so that the human can make sense and sort of like confirm its experiences. And once this cap removed, it's so far away. And many other things changes. There are a lot so there's a compassion for all these changes. That's one of it. You look at things, you look at relationships that you're in, and there's a lot of compassion because with so much love, you can see, wow, you just completely been now separated from that part of like an older world. And now can the new world that you have come into and its worlds, can it continue or will it go apart? So there's a lot of compassion and very different than the way the awakening process was. There's so much grace in here. There's so much pure love that recognizes these changes and recognizes that it might throw certain equilibriums off, yet knowing from that place of awareness that these equilibriums were only there within that template of the old construct that was tied to the mind, to the thought field, to the emotional body, and through the collective energy. Now it's removed and it's on its own, standing on its own, where the great I am is emerging to embody what the awareness has ascended to in its pure consciousness that I spoke about again in the last video. So, compassion. We begin to taste viscerally within the body what many masters spoke of in its simplicity, yet there was this attempt to capture it in the mind, but the mind is very complex. It couldn't quite capture it. Yet in here, it is so viscerally experienced without even words, because the love of the gracious compassion and that grace is coming from the pure consciousness that created the creation essence, and it gets to be experienced here. It's so elegant. It's like this elegant dance inside through the vast universal consciousness that has opened up, that wants to communicate, and it's very gentle and flowing and open in its allowing, and has so much love with this journey of embodiment. And I wanted to share that because, again, this is another one that we'll be diving into in the upcoming Beyond the Mind. That 12-week class that I have coming up on April 22nd. It is called Beyond the Mind, Mastering Heart, Divine Heart Circle. And it is the call to those who truly feel called to embody their mastery of their I am and really walk it, because this compassion is a very essential part of it. And it's not the compassion, or I'm just going to be nice and kind and loving. It has such profound presence. And before it goes to creativity, that I will talk about on the next video, it's marinating in the dance of compassion, gracious compassion. And for those of you that are feeling called, journey with me. 12 weeks. Show up if you're feeling called, because you have to show up if you're called to your mastery. You can't sit back, say, oh yeah, here's my mastery, and I'm just going to just here walk it like this. It doesn't work that way. And if you're going to do it alone, you show up like you really show up in yourself. The good thing about our group, it will be very supportive in this embodiment, and we'll walk together. It is our individual walk, and it does require for you to have taken the 4-4 universal meditation, because with that cap attached to, it's invisible cap attached to the Atlantean matrix that's still playing out, the way you know is, do you feel victim? Do you feel disempowered? Do you feel you need to get attention? Are you in that place of need, just need? Are you living in your own energy of abundance, the energy of abundance within you, from you? So all of these ties into those Atlantean matrix that has kept us shackled. So you would have to, the prerequisite is that free meditation. You got to prepare yourself, and only feels called to go through the meditation and then the integration. So that's the prerequisite to take this mastery for 12 weeks with me, coming up on April 22nd at 11 a.m. And email me at honeyb, HONIB 1111 at gmail.com. I am truly excited to walk with you. It's like This is a whole different ballgame. Yeah, looking forward to it. And so much love.